I'm Linda from paperboutique.blogspot.com. I thought it would be interesting to do a video comparing Martha Stewart's scoreboard to the Scor-Pal. I've had my Scor-Pal for several weeks and love it. My sister just purchased a Martha Stewart scoreboard and loved hers, so of course I thought it would be fun to own both. Well, I'm pleased to say that they both work well. Now let's talk a little bit about the differences. Last week I did a video making an expandable card box and I used my Scor-Pal. I used my Scor-Pal to score the accordion folds on both sides of this box and it worked so well. Nice, clean, crisp folds. So I really do love my Scor-Pal. I'd like to tell you just a few things about the Scor-Pal. One of the things, oops, my sizes fell down here. One of the things I'd like to mention is the Scor-Pal is marked in increments of 1/2 inch. There are a couple of places on the Scor-Pal where it's not in 1/2 inch increments. One is at the 4 1/4 inch line, so you can fold an A2 card in half. Other markings for like gatefold cards and accordion fold cards, but for the most part it's every 1/2 inch. One of the pros with the Scor-Pal is it's durable. It's really very strong and it has a much stronger scoring tool than the Martha Stewart product. There's better online support with this particular product, and if you go to www.scor-pal.com, there's literally over 100, probably 150 projects to make boxes and cards and envelopes. Another pro for the Scor-Pal is last weekend I had the opportunity to attend a retreat, and one of the women there had what's called the score mat. I don't have it, but it fits right in the Scor-Pal. On one side of it is a cutting mat, a rehealable cutting mat, and on the other side of the cutting mat is a work surface. So you can buy one of those for $15. That's definitely a pro. You can also buy what's called a Scor-Tote for another $16, which is a kind of a quasi backpack, and it's a great storage case which will store more than your Scor-Pal and score mat. I'd like to, before we talk about the cons, I'd like to just show you an example of how the Scor-Pal scores. If you line up your paper wherever you want it scored, I'm just going to do it quickly at 2 1/2 inches, and just hold the score tool. It goes right in the crease, and it makes a very nice fold, and it's really quick, always lines up evenly. I think the Martha Stewart tool makes a little bit better fold, but I'll also do a demonstration so we can compare both of them. Now for the cons with the Scor-Pal. There's not as many options as I'm going to bring this down a little. As you can see here, it's only virtually every 1/2 inch. The price is definitely a con. It is $39.99, but currently it's on sale online, I've noticed, for $29.99. I think the reason for it being on sale is that the Martha Stewart price point is at $19.99, so Scor-Pal has it temporarily reduced. Envelopes are much harder to make on the Scor-Pal. In fact, they were so complicated I didn't even attempt to make envelopes on the Scor-Pal, but you can. Let's talk about the Martha Stewart Scor-Pal. One of the main pros is, I'm going to open this up and get out the scoring tool. And move the envelope template. One of the main pros with Martha Stewart is that it's every 1/8 inch. You can score something every 1/8 inch. So if you have an odd size card that you fold it in half, it'll score on the 1/8 inch. That's a pro, and that's also a con. As you can see, the lines are so close together that if you go fast, you can sometimes jump out of the channel to the next. So it's a pro and a con. Another pro is this envelope template, which I think is pure genius. It works well. You line up the paper with this corner and you make your scores. There's directions for each size envelope, and you just follow the directions. A couple of cons with the template: very easy to use. The directions on the 6x6 envelope are not easy to follow, so that's a con. And another con is that here's a 6x6 envelope, and here's a 6 by 6 inch card. And you can see, look at how much difference. I think the envelopes, what I'm trying to say is I think the envelopes are too large. I went ahead and resized the 6 by 6 envelope because it's just too much space for me. Here's an example. It makes, this one isn't glued down, it makes a really cute envelope and easy. But once again, this is an A2 card, and you can see there's just, I think there's just too much space. So it's a pro and a con. The storage for the bone folder is definitely a pro. All of the directions for folded cards are here, and boxes, which is a pro, but it's very, very difficult to read. This particular tool though, one of the real pros is that it's priced $19.99 at Michael's, and you can use a coupon and get it 40% off. So that's a real pro. I'm going to go ahead and score at 2.5, and it's the same. It's actually the same as using the Scor-Pal, and fold it. And I really like the crispness. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick that up on camera. It's a little thicker fold on the Scor-Pal, and this is a crisper fold, which I really like for cards. The directions also could be a little larger. Well, let's talk about some of the cons. The board is not as stable as a Scor-Pal. Well, I don't mean not as stable, because it is stable, but it's not really as durable. It's a little lighter weight construction. The directions and the web support are lacking. I did not like the directions for making like the 6 by 6 envelope. In fact, it took me a while to figure out how to do that envelope. I could not find web support for the Martha Stewart scoreboard. The bone folder is my biggest con, and I'm going to do that right here. You can see it bends, and I'm worried that it may break. I've got 3 other bone folders, and none of them will fit in the line. So if something in the channels, if something happens to the bone folder, I'm afraid, I don't know if there's replacement parts out yet. Well, in summary though, I enjoy using both of these products when I want to do a lot of quick and easy scoring, especially if it's in half-inch increments or at the marks that are outlined on the Scor-Pal. I'm going to use my Scor-Pal. Also, I do plan to order the Score mat and take both the Scor-Pal and the mat when I go to crops. I think the work side of the mat is going to be very beneficial during crops. I'll have my score tool. I'll have a 12 by 12 workspace as well. When I wanted to do scoring that involves intricate folds and finer folds and things that involve 1/8 of an inch increments, or I need to divide a card in half using 1/8 inches, I'm going to be using Martha Stewart scoreboard. Also, I'm going to be using Martha Stewart scoreboard when I make envelopes. You just bear in mind that the envelopes are a little oversized. The bottom line is that you'll want to purchase the product that meets your individual needs and budget. Thank you so much for watching, and please check out my blog at www.paperboutique.blogspot.com for additional project ideas and videos. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.